chasing that multi-ball magic, the stories that it tells. From the classic wooden cabinets to the digital spells, every play's a new adventure, breaks you from your shells. Hanging out with Poe and Offgrid, yeah, the show's about to start. Talking pixels, flippers, and the tech that stole our heart. From the joystick to the headset, come on and play your part. Hanging out with Poe and Offgrid, a brand new world to charge. Now we're strapping on the goggles, worlds are virtual and bright. Stepping into new dimensions, bathed in neon light. The future's here, it's crystal clear, and everything feels right. Connecting past and present.
Welcome to Hangin' Out. Let's do this.
The night.
Hey, there we are. There we are.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. So, let's quick throw up the chat. Let's see. Kelly's here. Megan says, hey, guys. Polo's here.
Hello.
And so far, that's it. That's everyone that's here. That's everyone that's here. Yeah, we were a few minutes late because I was having audio issues. My headset was stuck on full blast. It's pretty crazy. Now, I was thinking, when I grabbed this shirt, you know, because I'm very picky when I pick my clothes out that I'm going to wear. It's whatever's on top in the drawer. And I thought, hey, it's still chilly up there where Poe is, and it's warm down here. I might be in my shirt, and you could have been in your stuff but you're not wearing your beanie hat.
Yeah, and I usually have a blue T-shirt on. I like the blue T-shirts, but
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, this was not by design. Like I said, it was just the top shirt, like always. What did you and Poe have for supper? Said Polo. I have pizza every Sunday.
I had Wendy's. Wendy's has that new cheesy bacon cheeseburger and the Thin Mint Fusion Frosty. The Thin Mint cookies crushed up.
Nice. Nice. And don't get confused that way. I switched the chat up. I figured out how to fit. So the newest chat is at the bottom of the screen now instead of the top like it always used to go. Because I was in panic mode because when I first got on here, it was in some demo and was putting fake text in there. But yeah, so yeah, that's what we did. We had pizza like always, but I did switch it up. Looky here. I have wild cherry Pepsi, zero sugar.
Nice.
I don't know which fingers are in the way. That's what she said. Because when we went to the big Walmarts, the Pepsi was on sale. So I said, let's try it. And then I discovered today, I know I've told the story because, look, I still have Coke Zero cans everywhere because that's normally what I drink. We can't get Coke Zero here. I even talked to the Coca-Cola guy while I caught him at the store, and he called the distributor. He's like, can we bring it in any of the stores in Van Horn? And they're like, nope. But Dollar General has the cherry Pepsi,
Nice.
zero sugar. So we said, hey, Mike's Gaming Gala is here.
Derek?
Derek's here. I wasn't going to acknowledge Derek because he's on your channel. So is Mike, though. But that's nothing new. Let me see. Yeah, I'm on Poe's channel right now. So I can see who's where now. I logged on to your channel because I was panicking when I was getting all those fake chats. I thought we were getting hacked, one of us. And I'm like, there's nothing there. So I did some investigating. But I don't know what the chat window looks smaller, though, doesn't it? I don't know if I can. Oh, look, I can move it. What if I put it over here? There we go. That looks better. We'll get more views this way. Let's see. Oh, I can't. Looky here. Looky here. This is like professional. This is how you adjust your screen while you're live instead of presetting it up.
Right.
Yes, Mike. I am so glad that YouTube chat seems to be better. Man, that sucked that last week when it was all messed up. You post half a dozen times to get one thing to go. And you get tired, you feel silly typing the same exact thing. So you change it up a little bit and you're like, what is it? And then I was always afraid that like 3 of them will finally go. And then it's like, hey, look at this dumbass saying the same thing 3 times in a row.
I didn't have any problems with it. I don't know. I saw everybody talking about it.
Yeah. No, it was pretty bad. And it seemed like in some chats it was really bad at the beginning. Some people's streams, and then it would get better a little bit later. And other times I went into one of Creeper's videos, and I think only one of my chats went the whole time I was there. Because he's pretty good about reading everything. Eventually he'll get to it. And it was like none of mine were going. It was really weird. I was gonna mix quirky and weird, so queered it was, which sounded like a different word altogether. Are you and Poe tearing up the FX VR leaderboards? Yeah, if you mean by tearing off the bottom and knocking whoever's at the bottom off, that's what I've been doing.
I haven't played in a while. I haven't played FX VR since Christmas. I think we played Charlie Brown. So
yeah,
I'll get back to it.
Yeah, I went ahead and bought the Bethesda tables, and so I've been playing those. And my new benchmark, I don't know if you got to see any of my videos, I pull up Jabba's score, because Jabba, he's always in the top 10. So it's like I try to get 10% of his score. It's like,
I saw that.
Jabba got 120 million. I'm aiming for 12, and I didn't get it on some of them. Yeah, it was kind of a mess. But so that's what I've been doing. Now, Poe, you just got something new, right?
Yeah, Resident Evil Requiem. Yeah. But it came out Friday, but then I was scheduled to work yesterday, so today I got up and I had to do all my stuff to prepare for the work week and everything. And I want to play. I was going to go live with it, and I'm like, I don't know if I should do that because I don't know how long I can play. But when you record on the PS5, it only lets you do 1 hour at a time. Like, that's about perfect right there, because it'll remind you that you're getting close. It'll come up on the screen. So, yeah, I did actually about 50 minutes of gameplay. That video is uploading as we speak, so sometime tonight it should be up.
Nice. Yeah, and I want to put this up. Polo said, I can't click on it there. I got to do it over here. I forget that sometimes. Polo said he was competing with me in the non-VR. Yeah, every time I played on the cabinet to compare to the VR, and then I'd play it on the cabinet, I was right there trying to catch Polo every time. He's the only one of my friends that played it. Hey, Salvatore's here.
Hey, Salvatore.
Good to see you. But Megan was making dinner while she was listening, so she went, hey, Kaos is here. What's going on, Rick?
Kaos.
Good to see you. All you folks that are up in the colder areas, I'll just tell you, it's down to 88 now. Today was a 50-degree plus swing day. It was 38 degrees this morning, and it got up to 92. So it was a pretty big swing. And yesterday was 49-degree swing. So we're having a little period of, it's still getting nice and cool at night, but then it gets hot in the afternoon. Oh, spaghetti, she says.
Oh, nice.
Kelly made spaghetti When was that? Friday night? Did you make Kelly? Did you make spaghetti Friday night? And then I had spaghetti for lunch and dinner yesterday. I'm just like, I'll eat spaghetti every day, every meal. I like me some spaghetti. So, Megan, leave some out. We'll be over later. Oh, meet me at Megan's house. We'll have spaghetti and pick up some of those Frosties.
Nice. It's a plan. Yeah, Derek, I played Requiem, and you guys, the spoiler alert, the very first enemy, the very first zombie in the game killed me. So you weren't expecting that, were you?
Oh.
I blame it on the controls. I was still trying to figure them all out, even though it tells you right on the screen what to push at that point of the game. But yeah.
Yeah. Man, Pola got a bunch of snow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think our snow is behind us. I am not, I'm glad we're not getting snow and all that really cold, super cold, but I'm not ready for 90s.
Yeah.
This is March 1. We shouldn't be in the 90s. But, I don't know.
The 49 in here right now, but it's actually down in the 30s. It's going to cool off again. Yesterday it was in the 60s and sunny. And then today, well, here we are. And I think it's supposed to be like this all the way. It's going to slowly go up. They did say 76, I think, or 74 next Saturday, but then rain, like pretty much 100% rain with that. So, but
yeah. Megan said, thanks for the info on the Game Station Go.
Oh, yeah. Love that Game Station Go. There's a custom firmware that, wow, really opens a lot of stuff up. So once they are at a point that I'm ready to download it, I'll put it on there. But you're going to be able to use the gamepad, the number pad for things now that you couldn't before, which was a shame that Atari didn't do that, or my arcade didn't do that from the start. It's the homebrew games or the ROMs on that side of it. It's going to light up the controllers and the buttons that you need, like the Atari side of it does. So these guys are really working hard on that.
Nice. Yeah, that's a pretty neat little system. I'm digging it. Might have to get me one of those someday. Gonna start a GoFundMe.
Yeah, you'll be now that those guys. Sounds like the majority of Intellivision working on there, and a television handheld if you want it,
Right.
Play that way.
Nice. And Mike, I agree. Cold is greater than hot. There used to be a time when I was a younger man that I was the other way. I was like, I don't want it cold. I'm fine. I grew up in Phoenix, so I'm like, I thought 70 was cold. But nowadays, I'm 50 pounds too heavy for hot. So I figure 90 feels like 115 for a normal weight person. But yeah, I do not like it. Are the Marvel Maximum Collection He-Man Masters of the Universe game day one buys for you? What systems?
He-Man, I'm sure I'll be there for sure for He-Man.
Yeah.
Marvel I'll get eventually, but I got to time these things out a little bit here. So
Right.
Whenever it comes out. But I think He-Man is April? So now it's next month. So yeah, I'm sure I'll grab that.
Yeah. I'm still trying to pace myself because I have so many homebrews to catch up on for television and Atari.
Yeah, I still need to get those Intellivision ones that you did for me. I saw them in the email tonight when I went to grab the link to come on here again. That's just, I keep it there. I'm like, I got to get to that.
Yeah.
Get down there and work on that.
Yeah. I got to get me. Yeah, I got to pace yourself because that's what's tough with jumping in like I did. I waited till I was 56 years old to get my first Atari. And it's like, man, there's a lot of stuff on the backlog there.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's easy enough to get the original stuff, but there's so many homebrews, and like all of us, I'm not looking to download those for free. So I got to pay for them, and that's time consuming and money consuming.
Yeah, that's what I'm just waiting for. Like with some of Brian's man cave, other ones that I wanted to grab. Just kind of holding off for a little bit here.
Yeah.
Space them out.
And I still, I wish I'd have got in on Intellivision when you got it, because I had to wait till the next time he put them up there, and mine still hasn't shipped.
Yeah, I think it was that first night, the first batch. I think he did it twice, sold out of them, and that's when Casey grabbed his, and then a little bit later he said there's more up, and I went in there and grabbed that, and then they were gone again.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and then I got it. I don't know if that was the very next time he had them up there, but it was later. And yeah, I'm still nervous because of my whole address thing, stupid eBay.
oh yeah.
So I'm hoping that it'll come through okay. Well, what I'm waiting for is for it to say that it was actually shipped, because then I got my friend that works at the post office, and I'm going to talk to her and say, hey, are you able to see more information, like what is on the shipping label from inside the, from your system? Because I don't think it'll show me on the tracking what the address is.
Right.
But I don't know. I had 2 or 3 back and forths with him, and I told him exactly how the address needs to be. But he didn't say, cool, got it, or anything. So I'm just hoping. He didn't say, fuck off, too late. I already shipped it.
Right.
The old one either, so. And I didn't get the shipping notice until that the label was created until 2 days after. So I'm hoping he changed it, but I don't know. He popped into whose stream was it? He popped into the other day. It was either Casey or Mike and Phil, but I wasn't going to be like, "Hey man, did you fix my address?" in someone else's chat.
Yeah, we're gonna get that OG Hugo gamepad working for the sprint, because I don't really get into some Intellivision.
Yeah. Did we enjoy the NES Custard's Revenge remastered video? I said that was funny.
Yeah, it was.
That was good. But yeah. So your video is posting for the new Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And it just released on Friday, you said?
Friday, yeah. So, and everybody on YouTube has a video out for several out already. So, if you somehow missed mine, everyone's out there. So,
no, I always wait for yours. Hey, Feral Inferno's here. Good to see you, Feral. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Rev knows who I am. So, it's like, even if I would have said, "Hey, did you fix my address?" he'd have been like, "Who the fuck are you?" Especially, he probably wouldn't. I didn't order it under the name Offgrid Arcade, so he certainly doesn't know me by name. But I am looking forward to getting it. Just have the box up there on the shelf with my other 3 boxes I have.
yeah, it's really cool.
Collection.
Little boxes. They come in, little clamshell, just a little like PlayStation box or whatever. But then inside there, you got your USB, your instruction manual, overlay. Nice. And it's pretty much the same thing as the boxed version of the cartridge there. Everything that's on it.
Nice.
Yeah, I like the presentation. It's nice. The only thing I wish, I think we said this last week. I don't know. You and I talked anyway. I wish that the actual sprint files would have been on there.
Right.
Instead of just the bin config. But that's something that can always go in and fix.
Yeah, and I think I heard somewhere that he's working on that. So later releases will have those. But
Nice.
And then I would imagine that you'd be able to contact him and say, "Hey, I purchased it. Can you send me the files?" I would think. I don't want to speak for him, but I would assume that's how it's going to be. And
yeah, it's been so long since I messed with it. That game manager, I'll probably forget how to do it. To go and mess with it again.
yeah, and I got little. I think they're 9-inch USB extensions, and I plugged it into that where you put your thumb drive. So now I don't have to reach back there or try to find. I can just plug that, pull it out, plug it into the.
Nice.
I didn't get as fancy as Casey and have a switch box where you can just.
Oh yeah.
I just did a little extension, and I also did one on the USB 1 port where I plug in other controllers, so I don't have to try to get back there and wrestle.
Oh yeah, nice.
But
I think with this, I'll probably just end up, since I'm going to probably be using the game manager, put everything back on the original USB, so I'll have this game with everything else.
yeah, Flight Quest 40, don't mind me just hanging in, catching up with the arcade goings on as recuperating after video edits. Yeah, sometimes video edits can be brutal. And it had been so long since I did a dang pinball video from in here, I had to remember how I do all that stuff too. I'm like, how do I get this going? And I did that. I put a whole new background thing. I started off with the Sprint when I did that background, so it's got Intellivision kind of stuff, and it has like a TV in the corner down here, and I'm over here in the corner, and my logos. And then I said, "Oh, I'm going to do an Atari one." And then when I started doing the pinball, I said, "I'm going to do one for the Quest, because it's always, it wants to put the square video, or you can make it 16:9, but then you're not sure what you're cutting off." And I said, "Fuck it, I'm just going to make it square in its own little box, and then have me off to the side." And it took the first version I did, because of the way I had it compiling the different layers, because there's me getting recorded, my logo. The Quest recording is inside the headset, so that's a whole different video file. And then I put the overlay on, and I was letting my video editor do the making the spots clear, but doing that, what do you call that? Where you click on a color and tell it make that see-through. I was letting the video editor do that. And normally when I compile videos on my laptop, it's about just over half of whatever the length is. If it's a 10-minute video, it's going to take 5 minutes to compile, and then I can upload it. If it's a 20-minute video, it takes 10 minutes. That one was like, the first one I did was like a 11-minute video, and it took over an hour. I'm like, okay, my laptop's just chewing on this. So I said, okay, I'm going to figure out a different way of doing it. And I set all that up, and it did cut the time down. It was just almost 1-to-1. A 10-minute video would take just about 10 minutes, which is fine, better than an hour. But I didn't realize I went live on the Sprint in between the two videos. So I was on a whole different screen, and I just said, turn off the background, the whatever you want to call it, the thing that template.
Yeah.
Turn that off and just grab my logo and my video. And then when I went to import it in and mix it with the other thing and put the template on, my camera was in the wrong location. It was like cutting me off, and that. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? And then I was in the wrong setting. So then I had to take that video and crop and zoom and pan it over and put it in the right spots, which was very time consuming. Hey, what's up, Tofu? Because I couldn't leave the template up and move the picture. So I'd have to be like, okay, it needs to move over a little bit. Remove the template, move the image over, put the template. Fuck, that's still not right. Okay. It took it forever. But now I got it fixed. So
Nice.
yeah. I think it came out pretty good for having, a good way of doing the VR and not having to crop it. And Tofu didn't realize I have a digital pinball. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of comments about the digital pinball, and a couple of people that are new to my channel. I think they probably found me because I'm going in other people's chat and stuff. Now they thought I had some real pinball machines in here, and they're like, I got asked, how many real pinball machines do you have in there? I'm like, oh, I don't have any. This is a 6x12 trailer. This is a 32-inch screen, and it's, when I play pinball, my butt is about up against the wall. But I do have Poe's nice sign. So
Yeah.
I can't light it up or you won't be able to see it, kind of like the toppers. You can almost tell that's Elvira. Oh, I probably just touched her boob. Sorry. But oh, look
Boobies.
what? What were you going to say something?
Oh, I just said boobies.
Oh, try pausing a plane in mid-flight and patching it together to look like it never stopped.
Oh.
Yeah, I do play X-Plane. It's been a long time. I got all my. You can't quite see them. I got all my throttle levers over here. I got a radio panel here. My yoke is down here on the ground because it blocks the camera. So my yoke I have to take off when we go live, and my rudder pedals. Look at Derek here, acting like he's going to start doing videos again. That's the 72nd time this year that Derek said he's going to start doing videos again. But Derek did put out a video. He played.
Yeah, I had a couple of videos. Right?
Yeah, he did. And he tried to record, I guess, playing River Raid, right? And I saw in Discord he had little issues with it. No, it's fine once you get stuff set up, and the pain is I was just setting that one thing up. So
yeah, I never did set up all different scenes and things like that for OBS. One day, day. Maybe one day when I actually get a decent laptop and can count on it.
Yeah, I had set up the laptop to use the deck board like I use in here, which I gotta launch the program or it won't connect. And here's my big fancy for when I'm playing. You gotta focus on the words, but you got stream, record, and pause, and then these are the different pinball, iArcade, chat, me cam. That's when I'm playing truck sim or flight sim. I could push that and turn off the camera that's just me.
Nice.
And I set one of those up on my old phone that I now use as a control for my smart home devices. It sits right next to me. And I installed that deck board so that I could change through the scenes while I'm live without having to get up and click on the mouse. And then people see that I'm playing in my underwear. And yeah, Kelly's always worried it's going to be the underwear with the hole in it and then something's hanging out the hole. Yeah.
You made a prosthetic butthole.
You're right, prosthetic butthole. So I'm wondering what the scene is that required a prosthetic butthole.
Right. Oh.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm seeing some chats and I don't understand what the reference was, but 75th says there. So the digital game is one game where you can have multiple games available. Are you talking about the pinball? The pinball table, I have a ton of games on it. And I have all of the VPX, well, not all the VPX. I have all the FX, Pinball FX, 3, Pinball FX, the new one, Zaccaria Pinball. I have all their tables. I have Pinball Arcade on there, all their tables, all that stuff. And then I have a ton of, I used to have like 300 or 400 VPX tables. I don't have VPX set up as much as I used to. So it has a ton of stuff. Whenever I play, if I feel like standing at a cabinet and playing, this is where I play. And usually I'd just rather throw on the headset in the house and play in VR. So, hey, Retro Bliss, Phil is here from Georgia.
Hey, that's the night the lights went out in Georgia. Phil went to visit family.
Yeah. Phil is out of town, so we heard the news yesterday. There will not be a Retro Bliss Rewind on Tuesday night, but Mike's Gaming Gala will still be going live at that same time.
Some of us get the news before the public does. I didn't want to spill the beans on anything.
He said it on his live stream. Mike did.
Yeah.
You just weren't there. You were ditching to
Right.
the very end.
I got to hear it the week before, a few days before.
Oh, okay.
Privileges.
Yeah.
It's usually in that group that they say, we don't want Poe on with us this week. I'm like, okay, guys, we'll be on.
Oh, yeah. Likewise, did you hear me say yes? I said yes, sitting here. Yeah. Yeah, I still want to try that thing where I set up the phone call so people can call into the show.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
1-800-Phil's mom, and you can get on live, hanging out with Poe and Offgrid. And supposedly it's not all that difficult to do. So that might be a fun thing to do. Make a phone in.
That would be fun and funny.
Tofu said a long time ago he clocked a pinball. It had banana flippers. Nice. I used to have 2 pinball machines, but I don't anymore. I just have the digital. When you're space constrained like I am, you don't get to have as many toys as you would like. Insider information says in Farrell.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I mean, I don't even have enough room to collect cartridges. So it's like, let alone.
Gosh, yeah, I have a lot of systems and a lot of cartridges. Yeah, I don't have room to display anything. That's my problem. So
Yeah.
I just got stuff everywhere, out here, in there, all over the place.
Yeah. I unfortunately, I mean, I didn't play as much as I should have, but when I got the Sprint and the Atari, and of course we already have the Switch, and now I have the Raspberry Pi. I had my piano bench was underneath my TV, and so if I wanted to play piano, I'd sit there right up against the TV pretty much to play piano. But I didn't play piano as much as I should anyway. So now the piano is kind of in storage until I can find a way to get. I don't have room for it, so that's where all my consoles sit now, on the piano bench right underneath.
Right.
Which worked out perfect. It's a perfect size for it. Everything fits really nicely. Yeah, that is the cool thing about the digital machine. And as much as I love physical pinball, there is a different feel to playing physical pinball, but you buy a physical pinball table and that's the table you got. The end. And, I can jump on here and I can play Elvira, and then I can get off of that and play Medieval Madness, and I can get off of that and play, hundreds of games. So
Yeah, that's nice.
yeah. Derek has digital. Derek has one of those fancy schmancy.
Yeah, the 4K games.
Yeah. Is it working, Derek? I know Derek had some problems, and I can't remember what the last status update was. Tofu says, how many Atari games do you have now? Physical copies of games? Actual cartridges? I have like 12. No, I think I have 14. Because Phil sent me 10. I bought 2 twice when I went to that place in El Paso, and then Mike sent me one, right? And then you sent me one.
Right.
So 16.
Ooh.
16. I'm big time. I had to put a whole new shelf in my house to house them.
Nice. I think I have 16 from Atari alone that came out last year that I still haven't cut the shrink wrap on. Sitting over here. I was buying everything they were bringing out, and of course never have time for videos. So I do have a stack of them sitting over there still in the shrink wrap.
Yeah.
I just need to take a month off from work and just make videos.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I got such limited space. I kind of, that's why I had to set up the Raspberry Pi to be able to run the newer homebrews.
Oh, yeah.
Because then I can just download the ROMs and all that and do it that way. Yeah. Derek says he's still not working his 4K.
Wow.
But he does have his 3-screen pinball table set up. He's been getting that set up to play again too. Yeah, I thought we were going to do something on the show about that like a year ago. Derek's 3-screener. But Derek's had a lot go on in his life lately, so we'll cut him some slack with that. Well, last time we asked you 2 cartridges, so 16 is a great increase. Yeah, I bought those first 2 cartridges, and Phil had those 10 cartridges he sent me were on the way. So I was kind of doing I hope I don't buy something he sent me, and luckily it worked out nice. What are your favorites? Of course, my favorites are the one I got from Poe and the one I got from Mike. And which I should probably say the titles of them, but I'm completely going blank on both. Mike got me Tutankhamun, right?
Tutankhamun, yeah.
And yours is called, I can't remember. It's the one where you're the
Rescue from Poseidon's Gate.
Poseidon's Gate, yeah. Rescue from Poseidon's Gate. You're I'm like, you're the dude in the helmet, and you go underwater, and
I have both of those games too, and I still haven't done a video on either of those. So
yeah,
you're ahead of me.
Those are both great, and I still fall back. I tell you, I don't know if people would laugh or think I'm freaking Keystone Capers. I play that more than anything.
Yeah, love that game.
If I'm going to do a test of something, if I just I throw on Keystone Capers, and then I sit there for 30 minutes playing it. Just
it's fun.
Kelly cracks me up because she just likes the sound of his running. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm sitting right now. I bought Yar's Revenge. I hadn't even played it. I'm pulling a Poe on that one. It's just on my pile, and I will get to it eventually. And I know that's a favorite. A lot of people say Yar's Revenge is great. I've never played it in my life. I bought it, and it sits there.
Right.
All I did was I took it because I bought it at that place in El Paso. So I put it in, I cleaned it, put it in the system, made sure it booted up because, if I have a problem, I can take it back. But I only go there once a month, so I have to.
I still have games that I made videos on at Halloween time sitting here that I need to put back away.
Yeah. So Polo's asking Tofu, what are your favorites? What you have a go-to? I'm not necessarily saying that Keystone Capers is my favorite game or that it's the best game, but I just jump on it a lot because it's quick and easy, and I can get far enough that I have fun. It's not like I'm constantly struggling to learn how to play it. It's straightforward: run, jump, try to catch the little fucker. But I do like that 7800 homebrew though.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
And so far, luckily, I just have the demo version, but I'm not skilled enough to make it past wherever the demo ends. So I get to play full games on the demo.
That's what Offgrid Games is handling that.
Yeah.
He's going to be on Retro Bliss Rewind next week. A lot of stuff going on there, so make sure, whenever they do air that, jump in there and find out, because there's a lot of people ordering stuff and having problems, and it's only him and I believe his wife that run the place, so only 2 people, and they're just, I think, getting a little overwhelmed with orders right now.
Wow. Flight Quest said his flight simulator he used for his channel is a 4-screen setup. Wow, that's got to be nice. You got like the angle like a typical, like people set up driving sims and all that, and I don't know what the 4th screen is. That's pretty sweet though. I just fly on one screen, and then I have 2 different tablets that I use the deck board stuff that I'll set to different button configurations for, you can't see any of that stuff. There's battery, mags, magnetos, and all that stuff. Your autopilot buttons are all on there, and I'll put 2 of those side by side over on this side. But Polo says he loves Yar's Revenge Recharge.
Yeah, that's a good one. Very good one.
I've never played it. I
You
never
can
played
get that on the Switch.
any version of Yar's Revenge yet. Kelly says, very true. I was thinking of the sound as soon as you said the name. Derek likes capers a lot too. It's easy to just play for a while. Faux Ursher. Tofu doesn't have any Atari games. Polo only Intellivision. Love skiing, baseball, Cloudy Mountain, Tron, and Night Stalker. Great games. I used to be really good at all of those. Well, I never played Tron and Night Stalker until recently. And I found out that I'm not good at either one of those games. Oh, Mike's Gaming Gala is back, so we can. All right, we're going to unpause the show and start doing the show again because Mike's back. I used to be really good at baseball. I always did love the skiing game, although I played it on the sprint and I suck. Cloudy Mountain, I'm still struggling to get through. I used to be able to whip right through Cloudy Mountain back in the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons days. And made chili. Nice.
Excellent.
And now I can play up to the third hardest level. I can't play the hardest level very well. I played that live the other night. Died before I got there. But, yeah. Those skiing, baseball, and Cloudy Mountain I had when I was a kid. Night Stalker I do like a lot, but I really fell in love with... God, my brain just does not work for game titles tonight. Well, I say tonight, but it's any day. What's the other one that I play now, Poe? That you showed me the original, and now they got the Mystic Castle. Yeah, Thunder Castle was the original, and I'd never played Thunder Castle, and then I played that a couple times, and I'm liking it. And then I played Mystic Castle, and I'm like, this game's pretty cool. I really like that.
And I tell you, the first time I played Thunder Castle, because I didn't play Intellivision until 2016 when I bought it, and I bought that game, and I was like, holy crap, the music and the graphics of this thing, that would have blown me away back in the day, so I fell in love with that game right away.
Yeah, it is a really cool game. I love that game. And of course, now we got so many new homebrew games that are just awesome. So I tend to play AF because I can't pronounce anthropomorphic properly.
I think I still need to update that one yet too. I didn't play it. I bought it back when William brought it up for the sprint, and I think you guys said there was an update or something I need to do for it.
Yeah. Mike keeps giving me credit for being pretty good at bump and jump. I loved that game when I was a kid. I played bump and jump.
That's a fun game. I played a lot on 2600. My brother had them 2600. Yeah. We played for it. I think that's the challenge for the next week here.
Yeah, it's the next week's challenge on the Intellivision Invasion channel or whatever they call it on the Facebook group. So I'll be getting in that. Now, I was playing the someone's homebrew version, which I can't remember. It was on the Intellivision.us. What's his stuff? I think it was on that, but man, I'm actually starting to get chilly. It is 82 in here. Turn off my air conditioner. Of course, the challenge will be the original version, and which is what I had because I had the cartridge. And I used to get to, I'd go through a couple of years before I die when I was a kid. Go through all four seasons and start again. Right. I could make it through the second one too. So I'm not quite that good. And I used to be fairly good at that first screen, always making it through without killing anything. So you get the 50,000 bonus points. That was a given. But then I could do it randomly, but more often than not, I'd just finish the level having only killed one car because I'd like land on one at the end. Like, son of a bitch. But yeah. Kenny played Baldur's Gate 3 with me online in my group once. It's on a big sale on PC. I've never played any of the Baldur's Gate games. So I don't know. And Tofu, you are correct. It's not about being good at a game, but having fun. That is true. let's see. I have a Williams Lucky 7 machine, 78 tech. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. Now I need a sip of my beverage too. Poe and I are both representing our military service. I got the shirt. He's got the hat.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm cosplaying our characters. I'm cosplaying our thumbnail characters and our intro and outro. So I think when the outro's playing, I'm going to randomly cut to me dancing instead of the character. Oh, that is a great song, though. The intro and outro. It gets stuck in my head sometimes. I'll be at work and all of a sudden, hanging out with Bo and Offgrid.
I should release that. Huh? Make a full video just for that. You
should. You should do a copyright claim against my channel for these live streams. Say, hey, he's playing my song. Played Pinbot this week for FX Season Challenge. Got 14 million points. Nice. I struggle with Pinbot. I have a really hard time with that table, which makes me not want to play it as much, which makes me not get any better. So it's kind of a vicious loop, which I think happens with a lot of games.
Yeah.
If you get into a game and you suck at it, sometimes it's hard to push through and get better. You just end up not playing as much as you should.
Or you'll be playing a great game, like one of the newer games, and then you get to a level that just absolutely you suck at, or it sucks, and you're just, no, I'm not playing this anymore. I hate when that happens.
Yeah. And then you'll end up losing complete desire to play it, and you never get past that spot. But,
and then you think a year later, okay, I'll go back to it, and then you forget all the controls and all the things that you gained while you were playing it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. Which I've always struggled with that ever since, I didn't play much console, right? Since I had my Intellivision and all that, and then I got an NES, and then I would get Xbox for the kids and stuff like that, and even the newer Nintendo's, Nintendo 64 and all that stuff. But I never played any of that because I was always like, freaking controllers, too much stuff, which is strange considering I started on an Intellivision that has the keypad.
Right.
A lot of games you could play just with the disc and the side button, just run and jump or, turn and shoot. But yeah, I get so confused. I still do. I'm playing games, the Xbox controller. I'm like, which shoulder button? What are they talking about? Which one is it? There's two up there. And do I use
things like
the D-pad?
Push this button to bring up your map. Push this one to bring up your HUD. Hit this button to heal yourself. This one for your gun, and then the other one to aim your gun. It's just like, which one was it? And by then you're eating. You're dead.
Yeah, you're like, just give me a CX40 with a stick and one button. That's all. I know what to do. Yeah. And then of course, then I play computer. You go to PC gaming, you got all kinds of buttons and stuff to do. So, but I tend to get confused though by modern console controllers, and just I don't know. My brain does not want to register. Like you said, I'll learn it in the tutorial. And they're like, oh, yeah, push the left shoulder button and A, and you can do a slide thing. And then the next time I need to do a slide, I'm like, what was I supposed to do?
Right.
And I'm jumping backwards and doing a backflip. And I was like, well, I needed that 3 screens ago. Where's this one? Oh, can't I just hit the joystick forward twice and headbutt them? That's what Double Driver taught me. Yeah. Yeah, Poe's been cheating on retro and playing Resident Evil.
Every once in a while, you get a new title that comes out that I got to get, and then hopefully I stick with it. But I mean, with this new Resident Evil, I'm not sure. It's probably like 20 hours long, and I'm playing less than an hour a week, so might have about 25 hours of or 25 weeks of entertainment if I actually play each weekend.
What are your favorite games, Poe? Which console do you like the best?
Well, of course, I love the 2600. I love the NES. but I also love my PS5. Games, there's just a ton of them on those old systems. Of course, Popeye on the old systems. Original Mario Brothers. I can sit and play those anytime. New games, I was loving that new Indiana Jones game on the PS5 there last year, and then my son came home on leave for a month, so I took a break, and then that break's still going on here. So need to get back to that. And this new Resident Evil, I mean, so far, like I said, I'm only maybe 50 minutes into it, but it just looks amazing. It runs great, and it's eerie and scary and spooky, and that's what you want.
Nice. Crypto Coffee's in the house. How's it going, Crypto?
Hey,
Anyone
Crypto.
that played games on a Commodore or Apple II, there were plenty of buttons to deal with, but at a young age, you have a lot more dexterity than today. That is true. That is true.
And another thing, like the old games, you just started them up and played them. Now, I tried to learn this time around. So a lot of times on the PS5 for a new game, I'll hit start record and then go into the game. And it's like, wait a minute. You need to do your settings here. And there's 9 billion settings. How dark do you want it? What do you want this to do and that to do? So then I'm recording all that. I don't want all that. So I actually learned this time with Resident Evil. I clicked it to go in, set it where everything was that I wanted it, and then started record as the actual game started playing.
Nice. Nice. Megan says it's an amazing game. Get Alan Wake 2 vibes from it, but that's not a bad thing. Beautiful graphics. Nice. Mike's Gaming Gal. And Space Invaders, right, Poe? Right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Hero. Love Hero.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another game I suck at. And I don't know. I've told the story before, and I think, Poe, you would probably remember when I tell the story, but I don't think I really knew Mike much. I might have told this story before I really knew Mike, but they had Space Invaders at the local 7-Eleven when I was a kid, and I'd go down there with 50 cents and get myself a Coke and then play, or a candy bar and play Space Invaders. And I was so happy when they took that Space Invaders out, brought in Asteroids, because I get, people love it. It's a great game. I'm not going to, but it just wasn't for me. I never really got into Space Invaders, but I never really got into Pac-Man either, even during all the big Pac-Man craze. I was just like, yeah, it's all right. I really liked Ms. Pac-Man when it came out, but the original Pac-Man, it just didn't hold my. So sorry, Mike. I get that it's a great game and people love it, but I never really liked it. Space Invaders. Story games like the new indie game, you need time to spend with it, hard to commit. Yeah, that is true. Something just flashed on my screen over here. I don't know what it was. Makes me nervous. That's the thing. Committing to time, adulting sucks with it sometimes. Derek, if you like Alan Wake, yeah, you should get Resident Evil 9. Way more gory, though. And I'm here for it. Mike, how do I ban Bart from his own show? Alan Wake is favorite horror game. So is Michelle around? What other clips did DJC give you, Mike? Any chance of seeing them? Was more of a Scramble and Gradius guy.
Oh, yeah. Great games.
I love sports games on the SNES, Super NES, and PS1 and PS2. Today, I can't figure out how to run a play, pass, throw, shoot, or change players. Just about everything else. I mash buttons, but end up calling timeout. And I still say...
with the fighting games. Like in the old days, you play those fighting games. Everybody was playing Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter 2. But now, well, it's been a running joke for years between me and my buddy. You get to like Mortal Kombat, finish him. My guy just ends up going like this the whole time until the other dude falls over dead because I don't know what to hit.
Right. I'm like, what is it? Back swoop, up, down. Oh, fuck, you already fell. Yeah. And I'll say, and I know Casey is on my side 100%. Baseball games peaked at Intellivision Baseball. To be able to see the whole field, have buttons to choose which fielder you want to get the ball. None of this. Okay, the ball's hit. It looks cool. You got this awesome avatar looks just like Ken Griffey Jr. Don't know why I picked him. I don't watch baseball. That's why. He hits the ball, but you're thinking it's going to your center fielder, so you start running left, and then when it switches the view, you're actually the left fielder, and you're running away from the ball, and you're like, this sucks. So now you miss everything. Intellivision baseball. That's where it's at. I love Arcade Berserk much more than both those games. Berserk is a good game. Chuck stuck to the script. No bonus clips. Derek got Alex Wait on sale. Mike corrected his spelling, but I corrected it for you when I read it. Crypto finished Mortal Kombat 11. Street Fighter 6 was fairly easy to learn. I always sucked at those fighting games. Here's my Mortal Kombat thing. The kids wanted Mortal Kombat, so I got it for them and all that because I love gore and stuff, and I'm a good dad. So, yeah, go ahead, kids, get Mortal Kombat. And I just learned how to do all the freezy stuff with Sub-Zero. That's all I would do. I'd freeze you and run up and punch you. And then I
was a Scorpion guy, so get over here.
Yeah, I just freeze the floor, and when you're doing this, I'd uppercut you. That was my two moves: either freeze you with a blast or freeze the ground. And either way, it's coming out with an uppercut, and then I'm going to fuck up the kill at the end.
Yes,
that was how I played. Did you see the new movie trailer for Mortal Kombat?
Flawless victory.
I did not. I saw that there is going to be a new Mortal Kombat, but I did not see the trailer yet.
Derek, just like Megan said, there's several people. I mean, that's all I'm seeing is Resident Evil videos popping up. And I've seen probably at least 5 people that had the Resident Evil timeline as videos. So they're going through all the main story games from the beginning to now, and even the remakes. So, yeah. Easy to find if you want the story before you start playing this one.
Yeah. No, we're having debate on what's the peak baseball. But since it's my show, well, our show, but I'm reading the chat, so I'm not going to read their chat, so I win.
You win.
Whoever gets mentioned the most is who wins. So it could be Intellivision baseball, or it could be Derek said NES Bad News Baseball, could be Intellivision baseball, or it could be RBI baseball. That's what Mike's Gaming Gala said, but it could be Intellivision baseball. So that's 3-1 for each of you guys. Sorry.
Bases loaded 1 through 1,000,000.
What I like about Mortal Kombat 11, you can practice and pause mid-game and look up moves and finishers. Yeah. I could have someone piping it directly into my ear. Okay, this is how to do the finishing move, and I'd still not get it right.
Yeah, I was all excited. I hadn't played Mortal Kombat in years, and then they had the one come out where the DLC characters you had with the Terminator and RoboCop in there, and I'm watching all the videos of those two like fighting each other. I'm buying this game. I bought it on a Black Friday. I don't remember how many years ago, when it's still in the shrink wrap. So.
Oh, yeah. Adult brains can't hold the combos and fatalities. You need to pick one. It's pretty accurate. And even if your brain can handle it, can hold it in there, it's getting your fingers to do what they're supposed to, you know? And even stuff that you had ingrained muscle memory back, 40 years ago. You're like, how can I not do this now? I used to do this with my eyes closed, but yeah, it is crazy. Reminder to hit that like button.
Hit the like.
Oh, I got to turn my air back on.
Yeah, one second.
It's getting warm in here. Poe will beat it. His will be done. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Poe's video. I like anything horror. Kelly and I watch a lot of horror stuff, not horror stuff, horror stuff. But I just got freaked out. I looked down at my phone. I thought Poe was back, but my phone is on delay. But yeah, Resident Evil 9. I'm trying to backscan on the comments. I can't read it so good. I don't have my glasses on. So I will talk about this while Poe's gone really quick. Anyone that has a Nintendo Switch or a Switch 2, if you got the new Bethesda tables that were released for Pinball M, you can get, if you had them before, if you had on Pinball FX3, if you had the Bethesda tables, they're free on the Switch. You can go onto the Switch online or the Switch store, go do a search for Pinball FX and Pinball M, and look for those Bethesda tables. I got them installed for both FX and for Pinball M, free, 100% free download. And could be, Mike, but I didn't eat chili though. You ate the chili, so completely free. And Greg went ahead and set up a tournament, just a 4-day. This isn't the big one that's going to come out Wednesday. He just did a quick Nintendo Switch only. And if you know anything about Pinball FX and Pinball M, the Switch gets excluded from everyone else. So a Switch tournament is only for people on the Switch. If you play on Steam or Epic Games, then anybody can join on any platform except the Switch. So he set up a quick one with the Fallout table, and he is currently on top of that leaderboard, which is only him, Greg, and myself have played so far. And he beat me, and he played again today, I guess, because his score is even higher. Very easy to beat scores. We should not be near the top. Neither one of us should be top 2. So if you do have a Nintendo Switch, and especially if you bought the Bethesda tables before, jump on there and get them because they're free. You might as well get them. And then look for Greg's.
I think that is where, what was it, FX3 that had those tables?
Yeah,
I definitely bought those on FX3, and I think FX3 is what I had on the Switch. I didn't have it on PlayStation 5, so yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah, so check it out. Just jump on there. Yeah, Crypto says it'll get them when they go on sale. I have all the Pinball M titles. Now Derek posted in the Discord, and I saw it. He posted it before I bought them, but I didn't see them until after I bought them. If you own the Pinball FX version of the Bethesda tables on FX3, you can get the pack and get half price for the legacy pack, they call it. I paid full price, $15. I figured $5 a table, that's fine. I'm not worried about it. But yeah, and then I bought them. I double dipped. I bought them. So I paid $30 for the 3 tables, but the 2 platforms, VR and on here. But you can do that. If you bought them before, you can get that legacy pack and get them for half price right now on Pinball M. And they do not, as far as I know, I don't think you can get the FX version yet. But they're not, I don't see anything a lot that's Pinball M worthy. There is a little, oh, you don't have them on FX3? Okay. There's a little bit of blood on the ramps and stuff, but it wasn't like, excessive. So
yeah, when you said that when you were playing in your video, I'm thinking, I wonder, say just add it as filler, because the video games are adult themed games that they put on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like they haven't had anything for Pinball, and maybe they're like, let's just shove these over there, give these guys some content.
Yeah, maybe they were originally, the same ones that are for FX on all the other platforms, basically, and they said, just quick, throw a little blood splatter on a couple of things. I paid $30 for the free tables. Doesn't sound like a great deal. Yeah, they're only free if you previously owned them.
Yeah, if you bought them before, which is nice.
Yeah,
of course. That's nice.
Steam,
nobody does that anymore.
Yeah, and it's not. It's a lot of people think it's Zen Studios trying to rip people off. It's not. It's Steam. Steam is being a real dick to them about they're lucky to get these legacy packs where you can get it for half price if you previously bought it, because a lot of these things, especially the FX and M, it's 100% Zen Pinball wants it to be buy one or the other, you get the other one free. You should, you don't have to buy it twice to play it on Steam, but Epic lets them do it. I think the other platforms, I don't know.
I'm not sure. Sony sometimes. They can sometimes be a-holes about stuff when people come up with games about, you can't give this away free. That's got to be DLC. They'll do things like that for certain games.
Yeah. Megan says that's why Valve is facing a lawsuit. Yeah. And man, I saw a story today. I don't know why it just popped in my head. I guess because she mentioned Valve and they got their new console coming out and all that stuff and the prices of RAM. They got some new 5090 card that they're saying that, I forget what it was, a ridiculous price people were paying, like 10 grand or something like that for this new video card. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah. Megan loves Zen Pinball, what she used on her phone for pinball game. Yeah, that video you posted the other day, Megan, was that was on mobile, right? You were playing Zen. What were you playing? The Elvira. Which table is it? I can't think of titles today. And the Party Monsters. It's right here.
Yes, that was the one.
It's that. Elvira and the Party Monster. And I think she played it on mobile. It looks great. They play great too. They are fun. But
Elvira. You said it. Now I gotta sing it. My heart's on fire. Elvira. Giddy up.
Hi ho Silver. And Casey, he bought it on VR. He got Pinball FX VR. He sent something in two of my 3 videos on VR. Casey said, "Yeah, I really want to try this." So I replied to the comment and said, "Yeah." And then when we were at Mike's live stream yesterday, he said something to me. He's like, "Yeah, I really want to play this VR Pinball FX. Or I want to play pinball, and you need to hook me up with how to do that." So I sent him a message in Discord, and I said, "Yeah, this is what you should do. Depending on what you want to do, but the easiest thing is Pinball FX VR because I know he has Quest 3 and a couple of Quest 2 headsets. Get Pinball FX VR. It's done. You don't have to mess with PC and all that." And then I said, "You know what?" I went into the app, and I would have gifted it to him, but I don't know what his email address is on that he uses for the Quest. But I said, "Here's the link." And I sent the link to him for the Pinball FX VR. And about 10 minutes later, he said, "Bought it." So he got that. Now we just got to get Casey to get Walkabout Mini Golf. Because Megan's going to get a headset too, so she could play Walkabout Mini Golf with us. I told Megan if she buys a headset and it gives me her address, I will gift her Walkabout because that's our thing.
Walkabout Mini Golf is the greatest. It's the greatest thing. And when you get together with Bart and Kelly on there, just laugh the whole time.
Oh,
the only thing is, we talked about it. They are going to raise each course by $1 this year. They did have to let some people go with this whole thing that's going on with Meta and the VR thing. And I think it's not going to be as often. We were getting games like every other month, which was awesome. But I think they're also not going to be working on, they had the mobile version for Apple that you could also play against people in VR. And I think they said they're putting that on the back burner right now too.
Right. Yeah. I think they're still going to shoot for six courses a year instead of 7.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Because they were on about a 6-week pattern there.
That was crazy, but it was awesome.
Yeah, and now I think it's going to be closer to 2 months per course.
They said they were scaling back on the things like the slingshots and the chest that we just found by total accident there.
Right. Yeah, there's so much of that game that we aren't even playing that other people are doing to get in those doors beneath the clubhouse and all that.
Oh yeah.
And but yeah, how many? I'm teasing Megan because I did tell her in someone's stream or something. I said, you need to get you one of those Quest headsets, and I said, and I mean it. I will gift you that. But how many times between all of us, how many gifts of Walkabout have we done? Because it's like anyone we see that gets a new, we're almost racing to see who can gift them first. It's hey, I'm going to gift you that.
Right. And so when G. Parker got his after, you had yours long before all of us, and then I got mine, and then G. Parker got it. So I'm like, well, you're already gifting him that. I'll give him the fishing game. And then his whole thing was like, fishing? What the hell is this? I'm like, really?
Well, it's the same thing. That's the same thing with Ed, Digital Victory. He got his headset, and he wanted to play Golf Plus, and I gifted him Walkabout because that's what we do. And he told me later, it was like a month later, he texted me and he's like, dude, I gotta admit, when you gifted me Walkabout Mini Golf, he's like, what the fuck? Mini Golf? Really? And then he played it. And he's like, holy shit, that game is so fun. I still haven't got to play with him. I have golfed with him in Golf Plus, but I haven't got to. Megan, you should. And another good thing with it, and I know Mike's Gaming Gala, Mike can tell you, he's said before, he has trouble with the VR sickness. But Walkabout, as long as you don't go flying.
Yeah, don't go flying.
You can make yourself sick in Walkabout. But if you just play the game straight, there's no motion sickness at all. It is such a good game for that. Kind of like the
And that's a game you can play it standing up or sitting down.
Yeah.
So Greg played a good bit sitting down when he was playing with us.
Right. Yeah. Poe plays. He's sitting on the toilet half the game.
Yeah.
Strangely, those are his best shots while he's sitting on the toilet. But yeah, the promise of a gifted game makes me want to get one. My bank account disagrees though. Yes. And I guarantee you, Mike, if you bought a Quest headset, either Poe or myself would be gifting you Walkabout Mini Golf day one. Because it
like
is
cornhole and bowling are good too, but Walkabout takes the cake.
and it's anyone who hasn't played, you don't get the scale. You know, it's 1-to-1 in the headset, and it is, there's something about it when you're sitting there and Poe takes a shot and you're watching his ball roll, and then he says something funny, and you turn and look, and there's his avatar standing there. It doesn't, it's an avatar, it's clear, but you feel like you're there. You feel like you're with the person.
It seems like if you're watching it on YouTube, you're like, oh, this is cartoony and blocky and goofy. But when you're in there, it's awesome. And the whole world is right there. You're turning around looking at stuff, and you go to make your shot, and there's Offgrid's head right in the hole coming at you. Do what you want, play around. We have a great time. It
is so, and even though it's just a floating head and a floating hand with a club in it, when you're looking over there talking, sometimes before the game, if we're waiting for everyone else to join, me and Poe might be in the group yet already, and we're waiting for Mike or Derek to get there, or Kelly. You end up looking at each other while you're talking.
Right.
You're not just, sometimes we're goofing around
because while you're waiting, you can do the slingshot thing, shoot targets or shoot at each other. There's practice putting holes there and stuff like that, all kinds of stuff. So
I still think the most fun is when we know someone's coming in and we're already there, because then you go up and you get your slingshot and you're just waiting. And as soon as they spawn, there's just golf balls. That's all.
You get the same reaction, right, from Mike the Gaming Road Warrior every time. All of a sudden, it's like, whoa!
The ball just runs through my head. But yeah, Megan can play Call of Duty Mobile on her phone in a speeding car around curves. Used to get the sickness when I was younger, but it's gone now. I'm the opposite. I used to never get car sick or something. Now I have to be careful. And I do get bad motion sickness with some of the games I would love to play the most in VR, like the fighter jets and stuff like that, and the World War II fighter planes. But man, I think we were talking about that before. The you turn the plane this way and you watch a plane fly that way, and I'm instantly, it's like you got to take the headset off. But walkabout, as long as you don't fly, but you can set your flying speed to slow too, and that helps. But it is a fun game. It is a fun game.
Oh, you go in the walkabout too. Another thing was, I always love Gaming Road Warriors. Just he's in awe every time we go into a new world. You know, it's whoa, look at that. You know, he's looking at everything. It's just like, this is great.
Yeah,
this is great.
Yeah, and yeah, we say it all the time too. You know, watching it on YouTube is cool, but it's nothing compared to what it is in. And then I went outside one time. It was overcast. You know, because they tell you don't go outside and play in the sun. Especially don't let the sun hit the lenses inside the headset, but it's even not super good for it to be out. So I went out the yard and I made a huge freaking Guardian, and I would have to teleport to the beginning of each hole, but I played that first course, which is still one of my favorites, the pirate one, that the very first course that came out. I played the front 9 walking. Because I had enough room. I'd start and I'd just make sure I was facing the right way in my yard, and then I'd putt the ball and I'd walk to it, and then I'd putt the ball and then I'd walk to it, and it was so cool. Yeah, Mike is adorable. He is, and it is. He is like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, he'll find something while we're playing. Whoa, I found a cat. You know, it's like, okay, let's go see the cat.
Yeah. Hey, the creeper's here.
Hey, creep.
How's it going? Yeah. And I know a lot of times it's not super fair for you because these new courses always come out on Thursday, and Poe's working, and Kelly and I are impatient. So we'll buy the new course and I do a video right away. And so you don't always get to see. Kelly's the same way with all that stuff. She gets into these things and she is just amazed, and I'll look over, it's her turn to putt, and there's something over there and she's just like this. Wow, this is amazing. And I'm like, it's a snail. And she's like, yeah, but look, it's cool. Look how cute little things. Oh, she has such a great time with it. But yeah, it is a fun time. So certainly, if anyone that's watching this show now or in the future, if you get a Quest headset, let us know on Discord or in the Quest. I'm easy to find them. Offgrid Arcade on the Quest. Go figure. And we will play some games together, because online gaming is great. VR gaming is a level above.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all the talking and stuff just comes natural. There's no, well, I got to set this up, or got to go to this chat room, or got to do that, or have something so we can talk. No, you just put on the headset, you talk, you hear each other, you look over, you see each other. Some games you can manipulate it to flip each other off. It's pretty good. It's always fun. So that's our VR section of today's show.
Love the VR.
Yeah.
That's the only disappointing part, really, with the new Resident Evil, was it didn't include VR this time. Resident Evil 7 and 8 both had, you could play in VR. So, Requiem, you can't.
Yeah. We played pool. What is that called? Derek, I can't even remember the games I played 1,000 times before. No, it wasn't in Rec Room. We played, that was an actual game in and of itself that we played. It was at something, it had 8-ball and 9-ball, but it's an actual standalone game. But yeah, we were playing pool. Like Poe said, we played
a bunch of games that I'll look at and read the description. And I haven't done this for a while. I'll get into meta and just read the description. So I'm like, I'm going to play that with Bart. So then I buy the game for both of us, and then I never touch it. Never get the chance to play it.
Yeah.
I have bought games before like that for you and for Mike. It's just like, yeah, we're going to play this, and then it just doesn't end up happening.
And for anyone that has two headsets and or two people in your house that are using the two headsets, get with me if you're not aware of how to do the game share, because that's what Kelly and I do. So, like Poe said, he'll see a game that'll be cool for us to play, and he'll buy me a copy. He'll gift me a copy of this game, and by gifting it to me, Kelly automatically gets it also. So if it's a 3-player, 4-player game, Kelly can join in, and that's a really cool thing with the Quest headsets, that if you have multiple headsets, you can set it up to where, and it's simple.
Whole idea of gifting a game is so awesome. I don't know why these other places like PlayStation Store and Nintendo eShop don't do that. It's so cool.
Oh yeah, and it's such an easy thing to do. Creep's been wanting to give VR a go. It is so fun, and from the day, of course, I'm a pinball guy, and the day we got it, we bought every single pinball thing that they had for the Quest headset, which isn't a lot, back then. And if anyone has need one, she'll take it.
Yeah, you get those games on there that you buy, and it's all on the unit, But then if you have a powerful enough PC, you can do PC VR like you do, and those are some awesome games I've seen on there. And then also side quests. So like homebrew type games people were bringing. That's how I played Virtual Boy on mine.
Yeah. Now Kelly said zombie games are great too. And they are a blast. We've played some 4-player, and they are just a ton of fun. I think me, you, and Mike and Kelly, we were playing one of those, right? We're running around shooting zombies. Funny thing, Mike, now they have since fixed it, which sucks for me, because we should get an affiliate link for the Quest 3. What we used to be able to take advantage of was referrals.
Oh, yeah.
And if you do refer someone, like I'll throw it out there right now, even though, whatever. Megan, if you do buy a Quest headset, before you register it, talk to me or Poe. It won't hurt my feelings if you choose Poe, because if you use him as a referral link, you both get credit, and you get some in-store credits that you can buy games and stuff like that. I put out those videos. Remember back in the day, Poe, when Golf Plus first released the very first ever VR golf course, full course. I got that thing. Me and Jason were playing. We're on like hole 5, and I said, fuck it. And I hit record. And then I recorded another random hole. Didn't even tell Jason at first that I was recording. Ugliest video. No intro, no outro, just 2 random holes. I got 12,000 views on that thing in like the first month. And I put a link in there where people could buy the game. They get 25% off by using my link. And I would get like $5 of in-store credit for them using my link. I ended up getting like $300 or $400 worth of credits because I would put those links in every video I did. And now they've changed it to where if you get anything, I get $1 credit. And some of them, the credits don't even work. So I stopped doing it completely. But yeah, I had hundreds of dollars. I don't know how long. I went like 2 years without paying for a single VR game because I had all these credits. And I still get messages. I had someone just the other day, he friended me yesterday, matter of fact. He friended me on the Quest because one of my links still works. He got the 25% off. I didn't get any money for it, but he got 25% off because he watched one of my videos and followed the link. So it's not quite an affiliate link, but you could make money and get free games. Resident Evil 4 was on. You could get that on the Quest, right? That Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, on Quest. Yeah, I did play it, I think, in a video. I was playing that one, and what else was there? Omen we played. You and I both played the Omen, and I think I was I was playing Blair Witch on
Exorcist. We played
that.
Exorcist.
That was it. Exorcist. Yeah. That was a fun game.
And of course, I still have a fond. When you're talking about zombie shooters and stuff like that, I still like DualShock. And then you and I played The Cabin.
The Cabin,
the second one. And the cabin has that badass mixed reality. If you have a Quest 3, and it's so awesome. Even in our tiny house, I put a door where our door is. Where over the kitchen window, I put a big window, and then where our door to the bedroom is, I put a doorway there. And you're standing in you're using the color pass through, so you're looking in your house, and all of a sudden zombies are busting through the window.
They're breaking your wall down, your windows down. Yeah, that's awesome.
So cool. But yeah, but you can, and getting back to what you were saying, you can play a lot of VR games on your PC if your PC can handle it. My PC struggles for a lot of stuff, but like the Zaccaria Pinball, they have the best VR setup ever. It's a one-time fee, and then any table you have purchased in the past or in the future automatically VR. So it's cool. It's cool.
I'm gonna have to switch to my charger here sooner than normal. Here,
oh,
so
wow! Yeah, it's crazy. So that is, and yeah, that is a really cool thing. I think I saw somewhere Mikey said, yeah, wow, nice. It is sweet, but yeah. So that VR section took off. I didn't think we'd talk VR today, but I have a VR headset out here, and I don't ever use it because, matter of fact, when I was having all my troubles blue screening out during our show, what fixed it was getting rid of the Meta app on this computer. Now, whether or not I could have just done an update and got it working, I don't know. But when I uninstalled the Meta app, no problem since. So there is that. But I did play American Truck Simulator in VR a couple times. It doesn't look nearly as crisp. You're not going to be reading street signs as well, but it's pretty cool to be sitting in a truck and it's full size. Yeah. Mike got Resident Evil 7 in VR, took one look at the dark entrance to the house and noped right out of there. That's hilarious. I tell you, that Exorcist game that Poe and I both played, there were some moments in that game, and I've been watching horror movies my whole life, and I don't get scared very often, but that game was freaking me out. I guess it was pretty obvious I was getting scared. Kelly put puppy pads on the couch. I don't know what that was all about, but she was worried I was peeing my pants, I guess. But no, it was really spooky, and there's something about being in VR that makes it feel crazy. But he's back.
Hopefully, I plugged the charger in here, but it's just eating through my battery because I've been uploading my other video at the same time. So I think it's just draining my phone.
Oh, geez. Well, we are, an hour and a half in. So, yeah. You had the same, that Exorcist game. There were some points in that game that were just freaky.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, to me, Mike had put up there the Resident Evil 7 in VR, looked at the dark entrance to the house. That's the parts that got me in The Exorcist. There were some parts where you're walking down the hallway and the hands are coming out and you're like, oh, that's really cool the way they did that. But it wasn't scary. It's when you were in the main room and you could hear something and you're like, the fuck was that? And then all of a sudden there's a thump over here, and then you got to go down this dark ass hallway and open this door, and you're like, that stuff really freaked me out.
On PSVR 2, I played Madison 2 years ago on that thing, and that was a scary, scary game in VR. You're going through that old farmhouse and everything, and yeah, they do a great job.
Yeah. Hey, you're not alone, Poe. My phone just dimmed the screen because I'm at 5%. But I'm not using my phone for anything besides just sitting here. That's not age. That's fear. Kelly put the puppy pads on the couch when I played The Exorcist because I might pee a little. I don't remember. I think I was standing up playing that game. But yeah, there are some neat ones, and I look forward to the Halloween season to see what comes out and what we can play that's spooky and scary. But there's some neat. the other things you can do with those headsets that some people don't realize, but I think most people do know it's available. There are 3D videos in YouTube. There are 360 degree videos in YouTube that you can play, as well as other sites and stuff like that. I mean, Derek, he goes to the VR porn sites all the time, but there's legit sites too. I mean, I'm not opposed to watching some porn, but I don't feel like I need to be dodging a dick. Hey, hang on. Is that Rambo? What just happened? But no, there's a lot of videos there, and you can watch 3D movies with friends. You can do all that stuff too. It is a really good system. Man, this turned into the VR show. But for anything that's multiplayer, or just hanging out, like we said, you go into that the big screen, you can have a movie playing, but you're sitting there throwing popcorn at each other, and you're just having a great time talking while the movie's playing. Yeah, I've watched some of the 360 videos on YouTube standing in the middle of the room and spinning around. Yeah, there's some really neat stuff. And then there's some stuff I never even thought of trying, like the roller coaster stuff, because I think I would get sick. But I don't know. Anywho, what else is going on? Is there anything anyone wants to talk about that isn't welcome to Hanging Out with Poe and Offgrid, the VR show? Yeah, big screen is really cool. Yeah, I don't know. My phone, I thought I turned off my notification sounds, but apparently not, because either that or someone, I've been using my notification sound, which most people, I don't know. Could you hear it when it just went off? And people our age know right away. It's from Ferris Bueller. But it's tough if Kelly and I will watch reaction videos. And so we'll be watching some young millennial person that's never seen Ferris Bueller before, and they're watching it. And then the scene comes on with the Ferrari, and that song starts playing, and I keep thinking I'm getting messages the whole time it's playing. Oh, yeah. Band reminder. Yeah. We were talking in Creepers chat about band stuff and playing. Megan played bass in a band. Oh, nice. I did not know that. And time for the
Bliss. Retro Bliss is a bass fella.
He's a bass player also, yes. And I told her, remind me, and I'll tell a couple band stories if we had time, and I guess we have time. One that comes to mind, we were talking about, let's see. I have two that really stand out. Three. I'll tell the shortest one. The first time anyone asked me for an autograph, he came up and he's like, "Hey, can you sign this?" And I literally did "Oh, me? Yeah, sure. Okay." But I had another time I was at Kelly's work, and she worked at a liquor store, and they had, if you bought a case of beer, you get a free bag of ice. And this dude bought some beer, and his hands were full trying to get the ice. So I opened the cooler for him because I was hanging out with Kelly. And I handed him his ice and all that or whatever, closed the door, and he stops and he goes, "You're Bart, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I am." And I figured he knew me from the grocery store, tiny town, only grocery store in the county. Everyone knew me from there because I worked at it. And he says, "Dude, I have your CD. You guys kick ass." And I'm like, holy shit. So he bought our CD. He looked at the cover enough and recognized me by name off the CD cover. I'm like, that's pretty cool. But one of the cool things, and I sent Megan a link to some of the songs I did. Well, actually, I sent you 3 more links through Discord. I don't know if you got a chance to listen to them or if you even went to. But we recorded some songs with a man named Jim Wirt, big time producer. He produced Incubus's first 3 albums. He did Fiona Apple. He did a bunch of big names. the week before he came and recorded us, he was over at the Abbey Road Studios where the Beatles used to record. He was recording people over there, and then he flew over to record us. And his wife, they met through the music industry, and she brought, while we were doing our songs, it cost us $1,000 per song. We recorded 4 songs. And his wife grew up in the music industry. And she brought this photo album in, and she's flipping through these pictures, and she comes across this picture. There's 3 men sitting at a boardroom table or something, and the one dude has a little girl sitting on his lap. And she says, this guy over here, and I don't remember his name. He was some dude. He was a record industry guy. This guy here, this is my dad. And then she points at the little girl, and this is me, and she's sitting on Paul McCartney's lap.
Wow.
And we're like, you know what? You can just leave. We don't need to talk to you. But they recorded, Jim recorded our music, and it was kind of funny because one of our songs, he made a call, right? He would listen to the songs, and he had some ideas, and one of the songs was kind of a slow, sultry song when we played it live and all that. And it kind of went dun 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 dun. And he's like, "What if we played it like this?" Dun 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 dun. So the first time we ever played at that speed, he recorded all that. So we like almost doubled the speed of the song. Came out great though. And this kid that played drums, well, I say kid because he's like 10 years younger than the rest of us. Phenomenal drummer, just amazing drummer. And so I give a lot of credit to him. But when we were leaving the place, now remember, if anyone's familiar with Incubus, pretty good band, pretty good bass player, pretty good rhythm. He recorded 3 of their albums. When we were leaving, he shook my hand and he said, I'm going to tell you, you and Paul, our drummer, you are the best rhythm section I've ever recorded.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, that's 90% Paul. I'm just playing, Paul is the dude. But so that was cool. A guy that's a professional recorder. And we were this close to going. They flew Josh out to LA and all that, and they were talking record deal and all that, but we played hard rock, and they didn't want a hard rock band with a chick singer. And poor Josh had to come back and tell Charmaine that, and she quit. She never, as far as I know, she never played again. Yeah. Wish You Were Here. Megan, when we were talking about playing cover songs, and I said we did have a handful of covers, that was in our cover song list. Wish You Were Here. But yeah, and I think that's what got it started. They're talking about Freebird up here. Playing in Arkansas, you couldn't avoid it. We were playing really hard stuff and all that, hard rock stuff. And there's always someone, play Freebird. Like, I'm freeing this bird. You can just get away. But yeah, so that was cool. And but it was expensive. So we each paid $1,000. It cost us $4,000 to get the 4 songs made. And there were 4 of us in the band. So we each paid $1,000. And now I have copies of those 4 songs. So I paid $250 a piece for my 4 copies of these songs. But we went from looking like we were going to go somewhere to just over in about a 2-week period. Yeah. And here we are. We lived in northern Arkansas, 1,200 people town, little Salem, Arkansas, and people in Hollywood knew who we were. And yeah. And another tiny little story I'll throw in there. Talk about people knowing. And now there is a cheater, and I will explain the cheater function of this. The drummer, Paul, he went to see the Deftones play down in Little Rock. And after the show, they had an after party at one of the clubs. And he went and he was talking with their guitar player. And he said, they got to talking. He's like, oh, you're a musician? He said, yeah, I play drums. And he says, oh, that's cool. And he goes, yeah, I play in a band with a guy named Josh Coker, who was our guitar player and songwriter. And the guy from the Deftones said, oh, you're in Always April? So the guy from the Deftones knew us. But the cheater function is Abe, the drummer for the Deftones, had previously played in a band with Josh in California. They were in a band together, and he left their band to go play for the Deftones. So that was cool. But yeah, it is crazy. I had a lot of fun doing all that stuff, but that was years ago now.
Awesome.
And it seems like a lifetime ago. But yeah, so Megan, I did send you, I don't know, I didn't see up there. After I sent you the link to the one last night, after I should have went to bed, I sent you audio only links to the other 3 songs that were recorded by Jim Wirt. And to get a great feeling for Paul, the drummer, listen to Blindsided. He has a part in Blindsided. When he did that, I was in the control booth the first time he played that, and Jim Wirt looked over at the owner of the recording studio, just like, what the fuck? It's pretty badass. Yeah. So anyway, that's my big history of off-grid music. And but when they asked me to join that band, I literally hadn't touched my bass guitar in 10 years. And they're like, hey, we got this band together. Do you want to play? And I'm like, all right. So I dusted off my bass and I played some stuff, played a little bit of Rush and singing with it. And Charmaine's son was staying. He was good friends with Jason. That's how they knew about me. And he was there. Gunnar was there. And then I guess the next day when I took him home and he went in, and his mom and Josh lived with Charmaine. They ended up getting married, but they said, so have you heard him play? And I guess Gunnar was like, yeah, he played last night. He's really good. And so now I had pressure because they're expecting me. And Paul had just set up his drum kit. So he's doing like a test jam. And I almost just packed up and left because he was that good. I'm like, I can't play with these guys. I haven't played my bass in 10 years. And yeah, but it turned out a pretty good deal. They had like 15 original songs already 90% done, mostly just missing bass lines because their old bass player sucked really bad, I guess. They said they would be working for weeks on one song. And that first practice we left and we had probably 3 or 4 songs that we could have played on stage because we had them down. And it's like, but Josh would write some pretty crazy stuff for me to play. And I wasn't sure I could hang with a lot of it, but he was good at writing stuff. I had we played a show up in West Plains, Missouri, and the bass player for one of the other bands, he came up after and he shook my hand. He goes, "That's nuts, man. You're playing some shit. I'm up there just boom, 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 and you're up there playing stuff." I'm like, Josh writes it. He tells me what to do and I play it. Because I will be the first to admit I'm not a jam type of dude. If you get a guitar player and a drummer and they start riffing and doing stuff, I can't really hang with that. I can't just improv and play something. But if you're like, here's what I need you to play, and he demonstrates on the guitar and says, do something like this, I might put a little flavoring to it, but he'll play it once and then I'll play it and it's good, and we're good to go. To the point, Josh would write a brand new song, bring it to us in practice, and he'd be like, okay, here's the layout. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And you have this and verse, chorus, verse, break, guitar solo, break, whatever. And then after we would go through it a couple times, just kind of each little piece, he would turn to me and say, okay, do the math and tell Paul how this works. And I'd be like, okay, it's 2, 4, 2, 4, 4, 2, 4. Okay, because that's how many times you'd play each segment and Josh wrote the song, and he'd be like, okay, what's the math on it? Do the math. And I tell him how the layout was. But so I can play, you show me how to play something, I'll play it. But to just riff, and it takes me a while. I can't just jam. But Josh and Paul were so good. They would tell me to just do something on the bass, and they'll join me, and they'd follow me wherever. And then I'd just because I'd be like, okay, I'm playing in this key, I'm going to just go over here because I don't think it really goes together, but let's see how long it takes Josh to catch up to where I am. And he'd just be right on it. It's like, I see what you did there. I'm like, I don't know what I did. I just went to this string. But it's fun stuff. So I know Phil's a much better bass player than I am. I'm sure Megan is too. She played in a band. She probably has more of that natural skill stuff, but I've always been learn how to play it once, and then I can play it kind of forever. It's I got it. I'm done. I'm good. Let's go. So, but it started off, they were like, yeah, we're just playing the garage, whatever. Well, I was in the living room. She didn't have a garage. We just play. And then suddenly they're like, yeah, we're not going to make it a thing all the time, but we were talking to this other people, they're going to play a show. They need someone to open. You want to play it? And I'm like, okay, let's go play. And then pretty soon we were playing, I think we played around 20 to 25 shows a year. So it was pretty much every other week we were playing a show somewhere. So still on the plane. Yeah. So yeah, Megan, check out those songs. Let me know what you think. Wavelength is the one that he doubled the speed on us, and that was our most requested song. But anyway, so that went another 20 minutes talking about my bullshit. Retro Gamer 1977, aka Michael, is in the house. I see him a lot on Megan's Discord. Megan has a Discord channel as well as her YouTube channel. So you can find Megan on our Discord. She is a friend on our Discord and stuff. So, he's catching us later. He must be going into quiet zone. Oh, yeah. So, anything else? What else we got to talk about, Poe?
Don't forget the River Raid and Television Challenge is still going on.
Yeah, it is. River Raid and Television. And I think, I'm pretty sure Derek played.
Yeah.
I think he tried to record it, but he didn't get it. So he put a screenshot. I will put together the spreadsheet on it and get the score posted. Megan whooped us all at the MASH.
Yeah.
She got the big 999. And then Kelly and I played 2-player MASH, and she beat me. And I knew it was coming because we were both over 900, and we got to a point where I knew it's like there were 2 dudes on the screen before it would refresh. And I'm like, if either one of us gets both of them, that's going to be the winner of the game. And I got hung up on a tree and she got them. So, yeah. So, yeah. Megan doesn't know how she got the 999. Yeah, you picked up more players than the other guy. And you do get some points for that operation mode. That helps too, getting those things out. But yeah. But there were 4 of us that played MASH. So that's cool. And River Raid, I should see if I can get Kelly to play River Raid, put her score up there. I mean, can't be much worse than I did. So I kept getting confused in River Raid. I'm shooting the fuel and running into the boat. I think that's
refueling the boat.
Yeah, I didn't know until I watched your thing, and it makes sense. It's like, yeah, you don't need fuel at that first fuel stop. You might as well shoot. I mean, I was shooting a lot of them accidentally anyway. Yeah, but The operation mode is hard. You almost got to tap this thing. Like,
Yeah.
if you push it, you're done. You got to just nudge it. But
the other mode of that is, wow, I think it is every so many seconds while you're operating, the opponent gains points while you're going. So that would be rough, really rough.
Yeah. See, now I also, in my defense, when we played that challenge, you got to play. Derek put Ferret Face up there. You got to play against Frank Burns. I was playing against George Burns.
George Burns.
I think I said it like 3 times before I realized I said it, and then I still said it like 2 more times. Oh yeah, that is funny though. I think it's a neat little game, that MASH.
Yeah, that's a fun game.
It's got quirks to it. You go. I don't know how many times I'd get stuck in a tree, and then I'd finally get around it, and it's like the tail of your helicopter would touch the tree, and then it'd put you on the other side. Like, damn it, I just got around it. But it's a fun little game, and it's a cool 2-player game.
Be
going around, and sometimes you got to make that call where you're like, okay, there's 4 dudes over here. I'm closer to these 2. But Kelly's closer to these 2, so I'm going to go get them first so she can't get them, and then I'll go down after and I'll race her to the other ones because I'll still be kind of closer. But then I'd hit a tree and get nuked backwards or get shot. What I like in that game is how you can be flying, going after this dude up here, and there's a dude down here, and you get shot, and you fall through that dude, and you still get credit for picking him up as you fall to your death.
Caught him on your way down.
Yeah. Don't ask me how I know that you can do that. It's not like it happened to me several times. But yeah, so get in on the river raid. Record it if you can. If you can't, just take a picture. Any way you can play it.
And some other cool things from this past week. Mike's Gaming Gala got to 6,000 subs, over 6,000 now.
Nice.
And I forgot that when we were talking about Bliss, Slopes Game Room. I've been subscribed to him for some years now, but I don't watch all of his stuff anymore. It's not all about playing video games on his channel. But he did top so many YouTubers that you should check out. And he's a fairly big channel. And in his top, I think it was top 10, he told people to go check out Retro Bliss Gaming. So that was freaking awesome, you know. So yeah, check out Slopes Game Room for that video.
Yeah. I realized the sun went down and it's 68 degrees outside and 80 in here. So it's time to open up. Yeah, that's
cool. This month is March, so go out and get your Shamrock Shake. Big month. Offgrid's birthday is this month, and his is right in between my son and daughter's birthdays. You got my mother-in-law. You want to celebrate my mother-in-law. Her birthday's this month. And tomorrow, I almost forgot to mention it, even though she doesn't watch this, my 30th wedding anniversary tomorrow.
Oh.
Mrs. Poestyle doesn't watch, but we'll be on 30 there. And at the end of the month, 30 years since I went into the Air Force. So March is a huge month.
Wow. Yeah. What is it for me? Since now I didn't go in until June, but I went in June of '87.
Yeah, you went in right around the same exact time as my brother. I can't remember. I think his might have been July, because we used to, on really hot nights, we would sleep outside. Sometimes, you know, we had a picnic table. We would put blankets over it, make like a tent. We were out there sleeping when my brother's recruiter came at dark ass morning to pick up my brother and take him down. With his oldest brother to leave.
Yeah, I went in June. I joined in. I did the delayed entry, so I was still in high school. Well, thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
Yeah, Megan said, "Happy birthday, happy 30th from Shutdown. Congrats, Poe from Kaos." I would put these all on the screen, but the mouse is way over there, and they're already on the screen right here. And I did that funny thing. I think I told you before, but one of my stipulations for joining is when I ship out, I want to be flown out of the Prescott Airport down to Phoenix to go to MEPS and do my final stuff and then fly to Orlando. It's an hour drive, hour and a half if traffic's bad. And they did. They put me in they bought a plane ticket for me to fly down to Phoenix.
Oh, nice.
So yeah. Creep, your birthday's on the 8th?
Happy birthday.
I see mine is on the 8th. A good friend of mine from high school, her birthday's on the 9th, which I always remember hers because mine's the 19th. So she was 10 days before me. And a couple of years ago, we got to hook up with her when we were in Arizona. And so that was fun. I hadn't seen her in years. But hers is the 9th. My daughter-in-law's is the 15th. Yeah, mine's the 19th. And for those rockers out there, Randy Rhoads died on my 13th birthday. Sad day, sad day. And for years, I used to always listen to the Ozzy's tribute album. I would put that album on my birthday. And I haven't done that for a long time, but I did that for quite a while. When he first released that tribute album, Randy Rhoads tribute, I would listen to that every year on my birthday. But anyway, so yeah, this is a big month, and Shamrock Shakes is not the smallest part of it. I've already had 2, so I'm ahead of last year.
You're beating me. I had one like the day they came out this year, and then I tried to stop yesterday, and the ice cream machine was broken. Liars.
Wow. Bastards.
Liars.
Yeah, I told you and Mikey that that day that we went to the movies, we had a pretty big lunch, so none of us were really hungry when we got out of the movies. And then, so on our way home, that's what we had for dinner was Shamrock Shakes. We're like, this will work. I don't need a full meal. A Shamrock Shake will work. And it was funny because we stopped at the McDonald's here in town, and when the guy handed out the shakes to us, he was one of the dudes that was in the big TV show that Kelly and I were in a couple years ago.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was supposed to be the extras also. And me and Kelly were the only 2 that got to go out and actually be in the TV show. All the other people just sat there for 2 days. But we all got paid like $400 or $500 each for sitting there for 2 days. Zakk Wylde's Black Label Society just released a new album, I believe, speaking about. Yeah, Zakk Wylde, just amazing guitar player. Amazing guitar player. Ozzy had a good track record with getting good guitar players. But what I like about Zakk Wylde is he was very faithful with the Randy Rhoads era stuff. He didn't riff off of it too much. He kept it pretty accurate. So, all right, Derek's out.
Well, don't forget, Derek and everybody else out there, next Sunday is the time change. You're going to lose an hour of sleep, but we'll be here for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
It is. It's next week, huh? Dang. I'm still used to it's been 20 years since I lived in Arizona, and I still miss the fact that we didn't have to change the clocks. Yeah, No More Tears. That's a great album. And there was the DVD that they released for that No More Tears. He called it the No More Tours tour, and they did an album DVD on it, and video DVD, not an album, you know what I mean. But they did an intro to the thing, and it was a radio spot, and where they were saying, "Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne, the No More Tours tour is starting in," and then they cut into the video. That was one of the local Phoenix DJs. I would listen to that guy every day on the radio, and I was like, I put the DVD on. I'm like, holy shit, that's that dude from the radio.
We listened to all these great songs when we were growing up and everything, and they were cool and rock and roll. And then you see them or hear them or different variations of them in commercials now where you thought, where did this come from? But No More Tears definitely could have been a Johnson's baby shampoo commercial. They should be.
Yeah, right. Oh, later, Kaos. We'll see.
Right,
hopefully, unless you're already gone. But, yeah. And where is it? I don't know if you can even still see this. It is, especially since it's so dusty. I got my rock here. Oh, can you see it? Oh, it focused for just a second.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
There's Aussie on there. Jason wrote that 1999. It says right there, Jason wrote this rock. There it is, 1999. So Jason was 8. And he found this flat rock out and he wrote Aussie on it. And gave it to me.
That is friggin' awesome.
I still have it. But I'm coming home. Yeah. That album was just awesome. That No More Tears, Mama, I'm Coming Home, just Mr. Tinker Train, song. Just an awesome album. Love that stuff. But I've been an Aussie fan most of my life, so I don't know. But yeah. So next year, I joined the Navy in 87. So next year will be 40 years.
40 years. See, I didn't go straight into the Air Force out of high school. I spent a couple years working the grind. And then I was actually supposed to go in the fall before, but they found an irregular heartbeat. So I went on delayed enlistment until the Surgeon General of the Air Force had to go over my all my papers, my chest x-rays and everything to make sure I was good to go.
Oh, I had a similar thing when I got to aircrew school. They made me do the EKG twice. And I'm like, what's up with that? And they said, yeah, the EKG said you were having a heart attack during the test. And I'm like, I don't think I was. And they said something about my heart was situated at a little bit of an angle. So the probe, they had to just move the sensors and then it was fine or something. I don't know. But that was a little freaky. But yeah, see, Poe, you waited to go in a little bit because you weren't a junior in high school when Top Gun came out.
Oh, yeah.
Or you'd be wearing a Navy shirt.
I was in junior high, and I remember junior high here, middle school was 7th and 8th grade. And so the yearbooks at the end of the year, they asked all the 8th graders, you know, all these different questions, and they put in the percentage of what people said or whatever. And they're like, what career do you want? And, you know, whenever you totally finish school, everybody was like, I'm going to be a Top Gun pilot. Everybody said that as their answer. Like,
yeah.
I don't think any of them did it.
Yeah. And I joined the Navy as a goof. I mean, Top Gun got me interested in it. And I am kind of, they call it the Top Gun bubble or whatever, that after Top Gun, there were a lot more enlistments in the Navy. But it did get me interested. And I was watching some stuff about how much flying. A lot of people don't know how much flying there is in the Navy, you know, especially before Top Gun. And I always tell people that the largest Air Force in the world is the United States Air Force. The second largest Air Force in the world is the United States Navy.
Right.
And I talked about it and I said, yeah, I want to go in the Navy and fly. And me and a buddy, Neil Bemis is his name. We were driving with my now ex-wife, then girlfriend, because we were still in high school. And we were driving by and the Navy recruiter office was right over there. And I said, we should just go over there and join up right now. And she said, you don't have the balls. There ain't no way. I turned around and went in and we went in and talked to the recruiter. And he's the recruiter that ended up signing me up. And I basically went into the recruiter's office and he's like, well, what are you wanting to do? I said, I don't care as long as I'm flying when I do it. And he said, well, if you score high enough on the ASVAB, you can track submarines from the air. And I said, that sounds weird. Okay, let's do it. And so I took the ASVAB, I scored high enough, and I joined up to track submarines.
Nice.
Yeah. Call me a double dipper. Yeah, Kaos had what did he say here? I've been watching all night on the Switch while listening to music on my phone and dropping into comments from time to time with the phone. But I'm here till the end and from the beginning on the Switch. Nice. We appreciate it. if you guys went all night, that's something our wives never say these days. Yeah. But good times. Good time 40 years ago, though. Jesus.
Yeah.
Because I usually base it on when I get out. I tell people all the time, yeah, I've been out longer, over 30 years, and
all right.
I was only in for 5. So how long
My
were you
nephew, my brother's oldest son, just got out last Monday, and he was on an aircraft carrier. Now his younger brother is still in, and he's on a different aircraft carrier. I think the younger brother gets out either this summer or next summer. I'm bad with that.
Yeah.
So, and then my boy is in the Air Force, and we're just hoping things going on right now that he just stays in Washington State and doesn't go anywhere else. Stay there.
Yeah. Yeah. I got out. I was Petty Officer Second Class, E5. Jason went in the Navy. He went into submarines as a nuke, and he had a 4-year degree, so he went in as an E3. But he was in for 6 years. He came out Petty Officer First Class, E6, so he outranks me. And then his buddy was playing. We would play golf with him from time to time, VR golf. He was going through all the stuff to become a chief petty officer, E7. So he was doing all that stuff. And so we'd give him a hard time. Oh, yeah, you just want to outrank us and all that stuff. And it's funny because I haven't talked to him in a while, but he said he thinks he's going to get through all of that stuff, make chief. But he said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to separate. I don't think I'm going to re-enlist this time. So, but there's a lot of those guys that go through Jason's path, being a nuke in the Navy. They can make E7 in 7 years. Jason met a guy. He was a Master Chief, E9, 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you get those hash marks for every 4 years. You get a mark on your sleeve. He didn't even have his 3rd stripe yet, and he was at E9. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
that's and Jason got out, and at the time he could have done a 2-year extension, go from 6 years to 8 years, and at that time the signing bonus for that extra 2 years, $80,000.
Oh, wow.
He said no. He's like, I just want out. So, but
yeah, when you get your mind set on it, yeah. I mean, at the time, we didn't want to start a family away from here at the time, so we're like, we want to start a family now. We've been married for 4 years or whatever, so let's go back home. But now looking back at it and seeing all my buddies that stayed that have now been retired for X amount of years, I'm like, oof, I could have done that.
Yeah. Yeah. And people ask me about it, and they're like, well, you'd be getting a check now if you'd have stayed in for 20, 25 years, whatever. And it's like, that's true, but I wouldn't have been Coach Bart to all those kids that I coached. I coached my boys and so many kids through Little League, soccer, and all that stuff. I wouldn't have done any of that, not being in the Navy for sure, And, my mind was made up when I came back from my second deployment, which was during Desert Storm time. I was gone for 7 months, and Jason wasn't born yet. Travis was 2, going on 3 years old when I got home, and my dad was holding Travis, and I came off the plane. I went over and I hugged my wife, and I went to grab Travis from my dad, and Travis did this. He had no idea who I was. I said, whoop, I'm done. I will not go through this again. With him, or when we knew we wanted to have another kid at some point. And I said, I'm not going to go through that with another kid. I was gone for 7 months. Travis was 2.5 years old. That's a big chunk of his life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was my second deployment. I had already done 5 months in Bermuda before that. So in his first 3 years, I was gone for over a year of it. And it's like, I tell people all the time, the Navy's a great life for a single person.
Yeah.
If you're married or and especially have kids, I don't know how you do it, and unless you don't care about being, obviously there are those people that don't care about being there as a parent.
Right.
But I was very hands-on. Playing with the kids, I was one, all the neighborhood kids would pile in our van. We'd drive down and play flag football, and we made flag belts for the kids so we could play flag football. And we were the fun house and play, obviously I had an arcade in the house. Kids come over and play pinball and all that stuff. But I would have missed all that. So I wouldn't trade it. It'd be nice to have the check right now, but I'm fine with the memories with my kids.
Right.
This is the sappy segment of our show. This is Poe and Offgrid do have a heart. But yeah, but I did. It was interesting. I mean, and I'm sure you have because I know the field you were in the Air Force, and the things that you and I did in the military are not stuff that the average person ever considers doing in their life.
Yeah, right.
And it almost seems I'm guessing for you, sometimes it seems surreal to me when I think back and say, when I was 21 years old,
yep,
I was flying around over the Mediterranean Sea tracking Russian submarines. Who the fuck does that?
Yeah,
It's
right.
like, and it just seems weird that that's what I did, and of course it blows my mind when you think back now at how old we were, and you waited a little bit before you went in, but we were doing important stuff. You were doing important stuff, like potential end of the world stuff could happen based on some of the stuff we were dealing with, and we're kids. 21 years. I was 23 when I got out. And it's like we had a 30-year-old in our shop, and he was the old man. We're like,
the stuff you're messing with or working right next to in that box over there, that kind of power, that close to somebody that's, for me, it was 22 years old, but we had guys there that were 18 years old,
Yeah, it was, before the Soviet Union collapsed, which happened while I was on deployment to Iceland. Before they collapsed, the big nuclear, we know where all their nukes are on the ground and all that stuff, but the submarines, that's the scary part. They park a submarine off the coast, they're hitting Washington, D.C. in minutes, with no warning. It was kind of important.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of kids tracking these submarines. It's like, for me, it was like playing video games. I had my trackball, my monitor there. I could click on this and, I found the submarine. It's like I have I had a trackball and I had a joystick at my station. So what can I complain about? And yeah, it was officers who would make the call. In theory, if we would have got to wartime, it was an officer who would push the button to drop a torpedo on a Russian submarine or whoever we were fighting at the time. But he was dropping it on my word. He was waiting for me to say when. If it was a surface ship attack, like during the Gulf War, they had that line of death where ships could not go to approach Iraq. And there was a Turkish tanker that was pushing the limit. We were loading the live weapon on an airplane, and it was going to be us because I flew on the skipper's crew. So if someone's going to sink this boat, it's going to be the skipper. And again, there's an officer that would push the button that says launch the missile, but he's launching that missile based on my radar contact. Right. And all of my information is like, this is where you're shooting it, go. And then he gets to be like, I got the oak leaf on my shoulder, so I get to push the button. But it would have been me who said where to fire. Right. So it's kind of crazy. And I was 21 years old at the time. 20. I was 20 at the time because I remember I got back from that deployment and suddenly I couldn't buy beer again because I wasn't 21 yet. I spent 7 months in Spain where I could just go buy beer wherever I wanted because the drinking age there is like 12. And and then I get back home and like Kelly is now, Kelly's older than me and Lisa's even older than she is. So I had to ask my wife to go buy me beer. I'm like, that's fucked up. But anyway, good time. But it seems surreal to look back at what we used to do. and yeah, and how young we were. But yeah, this last hour has been brought to you by Memories. Everybody knows everything about our lives now, and all right, should we call it, Poe?
Yeah, I got to get to bed. Unfortunately,
Poe's got to get to bed, and I do too, because I slept like shit last night. Boy, this girl that took over that guy, I know we said we're going to go. Greg, my neighbor here, he quit. So now I got a girl that I'm relieving. And the first day that I relieved her, we get there at 4:45. Greg would always leave at 6. My shift doesn't start till 7. Well, I got there, I made my tea and stuff like that, and then I came and sat down, and she's like, well, did you want to take over? I'm ready to go home. And I said, okay. So then she packed up all her stuff and she left. Then the next day I relieved her, while I was making her my tea, I came back and she was already packed. And she's like, okay, I'm going to clock out now. This morning I was making my tea and she had clocked out. She's like, okay, I'm gone. She walked by. I'm like, I didn't even walk over to the computer yet. Nobody's checking out at 5 in the morning. Not many people. So I had time to go, but it's like, you didn't even let me log in yet. And she has her stuff packed and ready to go. And she's gone before I even finished my tea. But, so I started work at 5 this morning. So I'm ready to go lay down myself.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thanks everybody for watching. Play some River Raid.
Oh yeah.
Watch the shows. Casey tomorrow night. Megan tomorrow, 12 o'clock Eastern time. I think Megan said she's going to go live.
Oh.
So keep an eye out for that. When's your lunch, Poe?
It should be 12 o'clock, depending on what we get into tomorrow. So
I think she said she's going to try to go live tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern.
Nice.
So be looking for that. Of course, Pierre has his show, pre-Casey show, and then Casey's on. Keep an eye out for a Creeper. He streams all the time. It's fun time. He talks about all kinds of stuff. He gets his guitar out. He's playing stuff. It's a lot of fun. Yep, there it is. Live at noon, says Megan. Check it out. If you're not already subscribed to Megan, there is a link to her channel in the description of all of my videos and all of our live streams. So check those out. Mike will be live on Tuesday night, and Pierre will be live before that. I got to get Pierre's, and I think I got to add Creeper's link to the description too. I think those two are missing. So I will put that. If you're watching this on a replay, I'm going to try to get those up tonight or tomorrow if I go in and fall right asleep. I'll put those in the description also. So, yeah, 1 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday.
Nice. So that's always when my lunch is over, so I miss the lives.
Yeah, that's good because then we get to talk shit about you. That makes it even more fun. And Creep has a really fun show.
Definitely.
He gets the chat involved also. He talks to the chat. And it's a little like this show because it can go places. If the chat wants to talk about something, Creep's there to talk about it. So it's fun stuff. So check out Creep. I will definitely be in Megan's chat tomorrow. So look for me there. And we're looking forward to it. And I guess we're ready to go. And I'm getting attacked by bugs now because I opened the door and my lights are on. So, all right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Here goes the part everybody's waiting for.
There we go.
Thanks for stopping by, guys. We hope to see you next week.
Hanging out with Poe and Offgrid. Yeah, the retro game stories. You know what they did. From Atari to Zaxxon, every secret unwound. Best closing credits theme. The baddest around. Flippers are flapping. tunes needed, just passion and fun for every true gamer till the podcast is done. So power down slowly until next week's show with Poe and Offgrid, where the good times just flow. Hanging out with Poe and Offgrid. Yeah, the retro game stories, you know what they did. From Atari to Zaxxon, every secret unwound. Best closing credits theme, the baddest around. Yeah, Poe and Offgrid signing off for now. Until next time, retro gamers take a bow. Game over for today, but we'll be back again with more classic stories where the adventure never ends.